Coach, you got a new stadium that's opening up in March. What excites you the most about opening up that brand new stadium?
Well, everything. There's nothing about it that's not exciting. I think the thing that's exciting is just the challenge of just getting ready to play, getting a chance to play a few more games at Alley P, diving into some really tough road games early in the season, and then the excitement of transitioning over will be something that'll be healthy for us and exciting and all the different things. I've never been a part of something new like this before, so that'll be fascinating to see how it plays out. But it's all good. Everything about it's a positive thing. It's all part of the excitement and growth and just part of this season and things that we'll just do a great job of dealing with as a team. But, I'm sure there'll be tons of awesome, exciting new learning opportunities as the year progresses. And obviously, O'Brien Stadium's a beautiful place. And once you get inside it, you'll see what the excitement's all about.
You've got 2 new high-profile additions to your staff, in Matt and Auburn. What do you hope for them to rub off on your players or influence?
Well, I mean, they both have such a great life experience inside of the game at so many different levels, and both played it at such a high level that they have just tremendous credibility with the kids when it comes to some of the cool conversations that I've already heard occur between them, where they're just sitting there on the bench talking baseball or telling a funny story or just kind of mentoring them through some of the we have some guys that work really hard and take this really seriously, and those guys have this perfect ability from time to time to know how to lighten the mood or put their arm around a guy. So they just have a lot of really strong personal experiences that they draw upon, and they look at these guys and they see probably 18, 19, 20-year-old versions of themselves and can pass on just a really good vibe to the kids. They're good men. They have a great vibe about them.
Matt's approach to lighten the mood, how did he have that always growing up, or how did he develop that?
I think just game of baseball, it's hard, and some days when you're working at it and it's not going your way, I think when you've had a lifelong career of playing it, you can remember how hard it was because it's still fresh on your mind, so you know when to pat a guy on the back and say, hey, it's going to be okay. Your swing's going to come around. So I just think the ability to relate, the game teaches you so many things. Sometimes when you've been coaching for 20 some odd years, you're a little bit more task driven and sped up in terms of trying to get ready for a season. And then to have new perspectives and guys that are coming kind of into the college game or back to the college game, they bring another perspective that's super valuable and can really benefit a team. So those things are always opinions and different experiences. They really help everybody kind of balance each other out.
How's it been for you, Josh? I mean, with the new stadium, but shake up in your staff. It's not business as usual as you've known it for a few years. You set the reset button too, or?
Well, I'm really comfortable with everybody, and really, really pleased with the way that we prepare each day, and our focus and our plan's really clear. We know what our task is. We know where we're really pushing the team right now in certain areas, things that we know we've got to get better at, things that we know we're going to be critical to our season. So we got a clear plan. We meet each day. We've got a great energy amongst the group, very, very cohesive bunch of coaches. And I think when you feel that amongst one another, you just go out and invest in the kids, and you pour yourself into the kids. So I'm very comfortable. I'm very proud of just the way the group so far has gone about everything. Kids came back from Christmas break in great shape. There was a lot of good motivation in the first semester from the things this team learned together on the field, playing some fall scrimmages and having a productive fall, and the kids showed up in great shape. And it's a little bit of a race from the day second semester starts up to the first pitch. So everybody in the office and everybody in the locker room has been on the same page. I feel real good about the way we're going about things. So yeah, it's there's always a little bit of change from year to year in everything you do, whether it's staff, players, schedule, location. This year, obviously, with a new stadium. So that's part of what makes it fun. It's kind of part of what makes each year different. And to some degree, it tests you to be prepared and anticipate things that might occur and be ready for them. So, but I'm very comfortable, and I've enjoyed this group a great deal so far.
Your dad said on TV a few times that it took Matt a few years into his professional career to really learn how to be a good hitter. To what extent can Matt take that and help your guys with the process of becoming a good hitter, if that makes sense?
Well, you got to be consistent and start over each day. It takes some patience. It takes a lot of positivity. I think those are some of the skills and lessons you learn along the way as a player that when you're just recently finished hitting a baseball, you can recall how challenging it can be at times, and allows you to relate well to what the kids are experiencing. But just with kids anymore and the skill and art of hitting, it's hard. Time spent with them is important. Good advice is important. Consistent message is important. All those things are part of kind of the daily work that goes into hitting a baseball or kind of mentoring people that are hitting a baseball. It's probably a lot like shooting a basketball or anything for that matter. There's a lot of confidence involved. There's a lot of rhythm involved. How you feel about how you did the day before carries over the next day. So you look across sport, it's just it's one of those skills and arts where if you got somebody around you that's you can lean on or look to and draw good advice from. And I think with kids nowadays too, the ability to look at somebody that's done what it is they aspire to do gives them a lot of credibility as well. So just a number of good things. I think it all kind of fits together that way.
Josh Holliday, what kind of approach do you see from Carson and Cade coming into this season as kind of senior leaders who's been here for a little bit?
Well, those two guys are they are incredibly consistent. They're first of all, they're wonderful kids. They're great students. They're strong. They're very disciplined. They live a good life. They show up every day, totally energized and ready to go. They are all the good things that you want to see in a young man, a student athlete this level. And then from there, when they put their uniform on, they work at their craft. They're both improved from a year ago. They're a great example of the other guys. Both of them yesterday took great batting practice and really show confidence and clarity in what they're working on right now. So all strong markers of guys that are continuing to take what they learned in the previous seasons and build on it. But I like everything I see out of those two kids.
Strange question. New ballpark, never played in it before. Mm-hmm. To what extent will there be a feeling out process exactly how that ballpark's going to play and how you build a lineup and put a team out there every day that suits it?
Well, every time I go over there, I always kind of peek at the sun and feel the wind and say, I wonder what the ball would do today. So I'm excited to see when we do get in there how it plays. The surface is beautiful and the dimensions are relatively similar to where we're currently at. So I feel like there'll be some definite things that instinctively we'll kind of expect, but you never know. It's a taller stadium. There's more steel and more vertical stadium that'll kind of surround home plate. There's quite a bit of shadowing there, so that'll be interesting to see how people see the ball. And but I don't know, Dave, that'll be the fun part, is just seeing the first towering fly ball and seeing how far it actually goes and seeing how the sun shows up and the wind patterns. But I mean, again, all exciting first for sure whenever that occurs, and can't wait. It'll be fun to see. But I do think there'll be a little bit of a learning curve, but could still remember when I was in school, I think we actually scooted the fences back my junior year, the old orange fence, if you remember, in '97. I think we tore it down and put the green one up that you have now, and the gaps were, I think, enlarged about 15 feet. And so, yeah, sometimes the ballpark, they change a little bit on you, it takes some getting used to. But I think from standpoint of style of play and the way the games go off, I think it'll be similar. And center field might be the one spot where it deepens and widens out a little bit more, and dead left center and dead right center, kind of right there before the straight line and center field kicks in. That might be the one spot where the stadium shows up a little bigger.
2012, when they hired you, how much discussion was on the stadium and the timetable 8 years later? Is that kind of what you expected from the 2012 conversation?
Well, I just knew that Coach Holder was very committed to baseball, and that was something that we talked about, that he believed that we could do something special here. He believed it would happen. Obviously, it took a lot of work because it is such an exciting project and such a grand project. It wasn't like we just tried to modify what we had. We went ahead and built something state-of-the-art that we could call home forever. So he had a great vision. He believed in it. It was hard not to trust him and believe in him when you look at the other things here that we talked about doing and Oklahoma State had done. So I knew it was in our plan, and now how quickly we arrived at it. Once you get into coaching and building your team, you don't allow yourself to get distracted too much by that. You just know that you trust the people that you're working alongside. You believe in them. They showed us every step of the way they care about baseball, and it's pretty remarkable to see it all kind of come together now. But I did know, though, that when I came back to Stillwater and had a chance to come back here and be the head coach, that we did need to do something because you can't just hold on to kind of what we'd built in the early 80s and think that was going to carry us throughout the course of time, because so many other programs and places had really jumped on the college baseball landscape and we're doing some big things. So it's been a fun ride, though, and I think that all of us that have ever played here in the past or here now or certainly in the future are all we're going to really benefit from the patience because we did it right.
With that stadium being built and then Matt and Robin also on staff, what do you think that says about the future of recruiting for OSU baseball?
Well, I mean, my job is to try to keep thinking of ways that we can grow our team and grow the players inside it, and putting great coaches with great experiences around them, I think should show kids that I have a chance to go and have a unique experience and learn and be part of a team and be around baseball people that provide just a real important view on the game and how to develop inside it. And obviously those guys, they understand baseball, having played it or managed it or both at the highest levels, and that's a great amount of insight that we have that maybe a lot of programs don't have access to. So those guys they're great guys. They have amazing experiences. They're really fun guys to be around, and I think that it's a good vibe for kids to understand that the coaches understand where I'm trying to go and can help me get there. As far as recruiting goes, that's just finding kids that can share your vision and fall in love with what you want your program to stand for. And we believe a lot in academics and what it does for your life long term. The value of your degree and what it does to your mind as far as giving you the confidence to go off and pursue professional baseball, but always know you have a fallback plan if it doesn't work. And then at the same time, get you ready for a career, because if you have the ability, we want you to play in the major league. So just trying to build a great program and put people inside it that stand for all the right things.
Internal standpoint, what does the kind of switching stadiums look like? Have you already moved some things over, or one day you're just going to say, hey, clean out your lockers, let's go?
Probably more of that. Right now, we're just taking every single day. Like today at 1 o'clock, it's going to be 60 degrees and sunny. We're going to get out there and get better at baseball today. And tonight, the kids will have dinner and study and go watch the basketball team win, and we'll do it again tomorrow. I mean, it's one day at a time. That's all you can do. You got to get ready for your season. You know what's in front of you, and then when it comes time to transition over to one block walk over. So I imagine we'd probably pack our bags pretty quick and sprint over there. That's how excited we'll be. So not a lot of time right now really spent on that part of it, focusing on the season, getting ready for game one, because it's going to be here before you know it.
Had a pretty remarkable year as a freshman. Then he went up to the Cade and played with your father and chat. What do you think he brings to the team this season?
Was that Hueston you said? Yeah. Well, he's a good player. He's versatile. Last year he played second. He's working primarily at shortstop this year. He's really grown up a lot. He's stronger. He's more mature. His work ethic is really good. Really shown growth in the classroom. All things that are markers that guys are growing up. And usually when they grow up, their consistency improves. And so I'm looking forward to watching him get better every single day. But I think he brings a lot of good experience after 1 year. Definitely a middle-of-the-field player, good runner, good thrower, a lot of things, a lot of positives with him.
You need another middle infielder and a center fielder and third baseman from last year, and a catcher that you feel like in the fall. And so far you've got people at least in place?
I do, Rex. Yeah, we did lose some really fine players in the middle of the field last year, no doubt. Trevor had a phenomenal year in center field. Obviously, Colin and Bryce were really, really good behind the plate. And then Navigado played well at shortstop. So definitely some familiar faces that really played well, that either graduated or moved on. And I like the kids that we have in the mix for those positions. Noah Seifert had a great fall. He's definitely in the mix to play some center field. Caden Trinkle, as a freshman, had a tremendous fall. He's definitely in the mix to play some center field. As I said with Hueston, he can slide over to shortstop. He has that ability. Dylan Gardner had a good fall. Caden Polkovich had an outstanding fall. Those two kids can definitely play second base. Caden could also slide to third. Jake Thompson had a really good fall. He's definitely in the mix at third base. And behind the plate, we're going to see some new faces back there. We've been pretty lucky. Collins caught the vast majority of the innings the last 3 years. Bryce Carter came in last year and did a great job of pairing up with him. So we'll be new behind the plate for sure, but we've got some kids that can definitely do it. Brock Mathis, Josh Spiegel, and Max Hewitt is spending a lot of time behind home plate right now, and I've been really impressed with what he's done back there. So some new faces for sure, but the kids they're making great strides. I thought our practice yesterday was incredible. I couldn't believe how hard and how skilled the practice was for a Sunday coming off of 2 days, Friday, Saturday, where we were on the field for the first time, extended minutes. The kids were unbelievable yesterday. So you just build off that each day, but I definitely think we've got some kids that can play, and they're going to get an opportunity to.
What the guys said about Polkovich? You mentioned how great of a fall he had.
He's just one of those kids that if he's on base, he's looking to steal. If he's at home plate, he's looking to drive the ball. If he's on defense, he's diving and making a play. He's just has kind of that presence. He's on the field. And when you go watch a 9-inning ball game and a guy shows up on all three sides, whether it's defense, base running, or offense, and covered in dirt head to toe, he was there. And he kind of has that effect on the game when you see him play.
You mentioned Max going behind home plate. That's something that he's done before, and just kind of what does that say about him that he's willing to move back there?
Well, Mac's an incredible team player. He has been since day one he got here. He's been an awesome teammate, amazing student. He's accepted his role each year, and he's going to have an expanded role this year. And he's caught previously. He caught in high school. He's jumped back there and really, really taken to it quickly. So just says a lot about him. He's a tough kid, but he shows up at the field every day. He loves baseball. That guy cannot get enough of the game. So catching's usually a good position for guys that have that kind of motor.
Sorry, go ahead.
What kind of switches that have to be? I'm sure he has a lot to learn with pitches and all that stuff. Just how has he taken the mental side of that, I guess? Good. He pays attention. He's a student of the game. He asks a lot of really good questions, and he's been getting a lot of innings in inter-squad games. So that process it's been underway since the fall. So he's kind of he was aware that this was part of the plan this year.
When you were recruiting Brock Mathis, what did you see in him?
Well, he had good experience under his belt. He caught a lot of games at LSU last year, and before that at a really good junior college. So just a kid that had some high-level innings, having been LSU starting catcher vast majority of last season, and a guy that we thought we could really work with and develop. So just some good ingredients there. And this summer, when he was available, it was a good fit for us.
So Josh, last year, just the last month, Alix Garcia kind of improved. Is he still kind of your guy at first? Or how's he improved since then?
Yeah, Alix has been a guy that since the day he got here has just done nothing but work hard and prove himself day in, day out. He did it again this fall. Really comfortable with him. I think he's a really, really strong candidate to kind of sit in the middle of our order and collect RBIs and provide quality at bats. He's strong. He's fun. He works hard. The younger guys enjoy him. He's just got some presence and some toughness about him that you want on the field all the time. And as you said, the last month of last year, Alix was a clutch hitter. There weren't many moments that he came up in and didn't have a good at bat and won us some games. And he was awfully good for us. So he'll be a very important part of our offense.
How do you feel about your pitching rotation going into the season?
I feel good about it. Don't know exactly what it is just as of yet, but we got guys right now that are getting in good shape. We're taking it slow. We don't want to rush into anything this time of year. It's natural to get kind of anxious and try to speed up a little bit, but you gotta be in it for the long run in terms of getting your pitchers conditioned and stretched out. And I don't think we're quite there yet to announce a rotation, but I definitely like the guys that went through the fall. We had a number of of positives. The scrimmage games that we played, the one against Arkansas and the one against Vanderbilt, a lot of kids got to the mound and showed pretty good poise, especially some of the younger guys. So I think it starts with Parker Scott, healthy, and a very skilled left-hander who I think is going to have a really good year for us. Brett Standlee comes back, versatile pitcher, could start or pitch out of the bullpen. And then a lot of young arms that I think factor into opportunities to be in the starting rotation. So, ultimately Coach Walton will get those guys in the right spots. He always does. He does an incredible job, and he's totally locked into it right now. He's very much in tune with how the kids are feeling and getting them ready. And sometime in the next 20-some-odd days, he'll kind of know how we want to start the season out. But as we've seen in years past, you might go into a season with one particular look, and over time you adjust, and then you figure out what that right formula is. But I feel good about our pitching.
John Kelly was a guy who pitched a little bit last year as a freshman. What kind of growth have you seen in him?
Great arm, great athlete. He just continuing to harness that arm that you spoke about. Definitely grown up a lot. So if he gets where we think he can, he's a guy out of the bullpen that would have a fastball and slider that are pretty firm pitches. Velocity in the fall was up to 95, so he has a good arm, and his slider was in the upper 80s. So just a matter of consistency with John. That's all it is. He's just got to get consistent with what he's doing, and if he does that, he could be very effective.
So kind of had an up and down year coming out of injury last year. How have you seen him progress?
Well, he's still kind of battling through some injuries, so we just got to get him healthy. When he's healthy, he's shown signs of being very different. Obviously, when you get a left-hand pitcher with great size and stuff, that can be really tough to hit. So we just got to get him healthy. He's working through some early season back stiffness, but definitely a very important part of our team.
You mentioned Matt and Robin kind of working with the hitters on their approach. But on the other side, if they worked with the pitchers at all, kind of understanding what the batters are looking for from them, maybe trying to read what they're going to do with them?
Well, you got to remember, we've only been in session now for a couple of weeks. And so our second semester work, the first 2 weeks of that's a small group and limited time. So most of the time spent with the pitchers has been getting their arms in shape and starting to throw bullpen. So now that team practice has started and we're all kind of together more, there might be more dialogue where guys pick each other's brains a little bit and talk the game. But I think really where it gets fun is when players ask you questions, like when a pitcher says, hey, what are you looking for in these counts or whatever. So I think some of that stuff happens naturally just in sitting on a bus together, sitting in an airport, all the different times spent at the field together. But, to this point in the spring, it's really been kind of getting in shape, getting the guys ready so that when practice opened last Friday, we were ready to kind of take off. And so kind of in that mode right now, getting ready for the season.
Anticipate this team maybe taking on more of a small ball personality offensively than what you have in recent years, or no?
Yeah, I think we can bunt probably more in more spots in the lineup this year. More players that are skilled in that regard. Probably not quite as big in a couple of spots, but skilled, good runners, more bat handler type guys. So yeah, there could be more different ways to score. Last year we were, a team that hit it off the fence or over the fence a lot. Looking back at times, it was tough because we did strike out far more than any of us would have liked. I certainly, would have liked us to put the ball in play more. But at the same time, there's a lot of teams that would have died to have traded spots with us on offense. I mean, there's a lot of coaches that said, boy, I had major anxiety playing against your team last year. Those 3 days drove me crazy. So as much as the strikeouts might have bothered you at times, it made the other team real uncomfortable that one bad pitch was leaving the yard. So, you want a team that I think Dave can win 2-1, 5-4, or 13-11. However it's got to happen. Let's be able to play the game the way maybe the elements or the pitching dictates and try to win multiple ways. But, yeah, we got some guys. We kind of have a skill group that works on some of those finer points, some of the slashes and bunts and some things that maybe we haven't done as much of as of late. So, yeah, there might be some different gadgets up our sleeve this year.
Class you have on campus right now is about as high, maybe highly rated as any you've had. Do you see that? Are you seeing that there's a great group?
Good group, for sure. Yeah. There's probably 4 or 5 pitchers in our freshman class that'll get a lot of innings. It reminds me a lot of the Trey Cobb, Tyler Buffett, Thomas Hatch, Blake Battenfield, group as far as kids that will get a lot of innings early in their careers, and to have 5, 6 of them in one grade that kind of come in together and really provide you that foundation of a pitching staff for years to come, and some position players the same way. So, it's always fascinating to see how guys handle the opportunities and how quickly they take them and run. But we'll have a lot of first-year players, Rex, whether they're transfers or freshmen, that are going to get a chance to contribute immediately. And so we're definitely counting on those guys. And as I told them, yesterday, there's no clock on when you're allowed to arrive. The invitation has been extended. Feel free to step up and play good from day one.
Leeper probably still your closer, and so what makes him so good in that role?
I would say, definitely Ben's experienced at it. To say he's the closer, very likely could be. He closed a lot of games last year. Peyton Battenfield down the stretch last year was incredible. I mean, his last month, he was as good. He was as good as anybody we've had in a long time. He was dominant the last month. So those two guys handled the ball in big games last year late and did a good job. When Ben's healthy, he's got really good stuff, and it's just a matter of him kind of getting in shape and getting ready to go. But we'll definitely trust him for sure. And he's been there and handled big situations, and that's why he came back for his 5th year, was to kind of build on the season he had last year.
Who else do you think could maybe step into a closer role, or at least pitch in some of those later innings?
Well, I certainly think if Rob chose to use Brett Standlee out of the bullpen, he could definitely handle that situation. He pitched in countless big moments last year and showed that as the season went on, he got really comfortable with pressure and base runners. So whether it's Brett, whether it's Ben, we got a couple of first-year guys on our squad that I think could definitely handle those roles as well. So we've always gone into the first 2 weeks wanting to have about 12 pitchers ready to go. You're not going to let your pitchers the first couple of times out probably go more than 70 to maybe 90 pitches. So you need to have 2 or 3 guys lined up for each game, and the trip to Arizona with 4 really challenging games, you probably need to have 12 guys ready to go. And so you might see a couple different guys get a chance to fill those roles early on. But, I think our goal's always been to play a highly competitive non-conference schedule, figure out who we are, test our team, so when conference play opens, if that first weekend is a really, really big challenge, that your club is ready for that type of baseball from the start. So Big 12 baseball has been excellent, and it's only getting more challenging. The teams in our league right now are really doing a great job, and a lot of great individual players and a lot of really strong teams. So you need to be ready by the start of conference play, and we will be. Our guys they'll be ready for that.
What do you expect from those teams during that trip to Arizona, the teams you faced?
Grand Canyon, Arizona State. Well, having coached at Arizona State, I know they're outside every day in 85 degrees, so they'll be very much in baseball shape. They'll be very much in rhythm because they will have been outside, and they'll have a great amount of confidence being on the field. So you always run into that. The coach at Grand Canyon is a really good friend of mine. He's an incredible coach, and they're building one of the best kind of emerging programs on the West Coast. So they'll be outstanding. He told me they've already sold out all 3 games, so they got a great crowd and a new stadium. So that's exciting. We're going to go play in front of big crowds and great weather. And then I think Arizona State's might be ranked like 3rd or 4th preseason for whatever that's worth. Somebody thinks they're really good. I know they've got a couple of returning hitters that had great seasons. So we're going to see really good teams right away. And that's why we want to take this trip, go out there and get this thing going.
This may be your most challenging schedule. We just look at the weekends, the Fresnos.
There's no... if you think back to last season, Rex, I want to say at the time in which we played Texas, every game we played for the last 30 was against a team in the top 15. At the time we played Texas, they were ranked 11th in the country. We then played Tech. We played Oregon State. We played Baylor. All the games in the conference tournament were against big-time teams. The regional and then the super regional at Lubbock. We played top 15 baseball for 30 straight games, and we pick up this year really kind of where we left off. So as Rex mentioned, the trip to Arizona, we play in a tournament in Frisco against UCLA, Texas A&M, and I believe Illinois. Non-conference weekends, BYU coming into this year, best team they've had in school history. Fresno State coming off a really good season. Oregon State comes to Stillwater. Obviously, all those non-conference midweek games against all the great teams in this region, which are always tough games. So, I mean, there's a bunch of really good series on the schedule. We wanted it that way. We knew when we built the schedule a few years back that this was the year that the new facility had a chance to open, and we wanted to bring great baseball to our fans. So it is going to be very challenging. I think last year we finished the second toughest strength of schedule in the country. So, we felt that. That's for sure. Those games were all tough games, and it made us better because of it.
With the schedule picking up where it left off, and you said you're going to have some young arms getting some significant innings. How long will it take them to kind of adjust to facing that level of talent so early, so often?
That's a great question. Hopefully not long. Hopefully about 5 minutes. I think once you get between the lines, our job is to help them know that their pitches are good pitches, and if they throw them on that field and executed correctly, they'll work. And they have to believe that because it's the truth. Now, it's what's going on around you sometimes that gets in the way of you believing that, whether it's the crowd or where you're at or what have you. But I think the guys that that we have, we believe in them, and hopefully they feel that back from us. And as a result, they'll be confident in themselves and pitch with some poise. But it is always fun to see how people react to opportunities. And no one says, like I said before, you don't have to be old to be good. You can be good right away if you choose to be. And so our job will be to empower those guys how to think correctly and allow that to happen.
How much growth have you seen in this senior class, whether some of them have been with you for 4 years, some of them transferred in? I mean, how much fun has it been to watch them just grow? Well,
it is amazing. Our senior class right now has guys that have been here 3 years, some 4, and even some 5. So I think what you realize is just how close you grow to those kids when they're with you that much. 3, 4, 5 year experience with guys, you really get to know them, and their bodies change. They get bigger and stronger. The way they grow in school, you watch guys come in as freshmen and fight to get through the fall of their freshman year, and now they're in the last semester getting ready to graduate with a degree in business, and they're taking these tough classes, and they're not even blinking. They change the way their habits. They start eating healthy. They start walking around focused. You just watch them grow up, and it's a lot of fun. And it's really hard to say goodbye to them because you grow so used to being with them, and you grow so accustomed to the mood and the way that they make you feel and how much you enjoy the time with them that when they leave, it's hard. But you just got to replace them with other great kids to share that with. So, yeah, when you're lucky enough to coach guys for 3, 4, or 5 years, one, they obviously were great kids because they stuck around and saw this thing through. 2, they leave a big mark on your program because year after year after year they pass down the things that you think you value as a group that you want others to learn, and many of those kids end up being great performers. So all that stuff means a lot to us.
Cade, when Cade committed, you were in Omaha, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's right.
Do you remember that? And then also, have you turned his dad into an OSU fan?
I do remember Cade's commitment. We were in Omaha, and I remember sitting at the big high-top table in the hotel room, and I think he was at a summer league game at his high school, and he walked down the line kind of away from everything and called and said, "I'm ready to commit to Oklahoma State." So I do remember that. And, it's been really fun to get to know Cade's family and just to see the way they've been great parents. They've raised an awesome son. They've been great supporters of the program and great friends with the other parents on the team. And they're huge fans of what's going on here. And I think it just goes to show that, when you see your kid proud and enjoying his experience, whether you grew up attending University of Oklahoma or Oklahoma State or vice versa, our kids mean a lot to us, and so it's been fun to get to know the Cabbiness family, and I'm looking forward to one more spring with Cade.
Coach, I kind of a fun note though, with Marty being back, the Bat Boys are kind of back together. It's kind of cool to them. That's obviously now a few years older than they were.
Yeah, they're a little more into their phones now than the first generation Bat Boys. So I don't know. We'll have to get a charging station on deck if they're going to work as Bat Boys, but. It's just fun having little kids at the field and watching them run around and shag fly balls. And, kids, there's something about little kids and family and ballpark that just make it feel like a home. And we've got them all over the place and wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest with you.
How important is that, too? I know at O'Brate Stadium has been mentioned that a lot of those features are kind of to create that family atmosphere. How important has that been in the whole vision for it?
Oh, super important. I mean, we wouldn't have it any other way. We want little kids. We want families. We want them coming early and staying late. We want them watching these guys play and asking for autographs and someday dreaming of playing here themselves. We want that to be part of what going to a baseball game or growing up in this town feels like. And then, a lot of these guys that play for us now were coming to games as kids too, and one day they end up being here. So hopefully the ballpark is full of families, full of kids, and I think that's normally when springtime rolls around, the temperatures warm up, everybody's looking for something to go do as a group, and we feel like the stadium is going to accommodate families in an incredible way, in ways that we've never been able to before. So we're really looking forward to that.
Just going into this season, how exciting is it for you guys knowing you've got Matt and Robin on staff, over at Stadium coming up, just everything coming together?
Who is that intended for?
For anyone.
Go ahead.
Well, we're all pretty excited, obviously. We've been seeing that stadium go up for past year now, and then Matt and Robin come during the fall, and it's kind of just, I guess the mood around our team is lifted. Everybody's excited for the upcoming season, the new stadium, and obviously the addition to our coaching staff will help us out tremendously. So.
Parker also last year came back after injury. And how did you feel about last year, and now how you feeling coming into this season?
I think we got a good team this year too. So, I feel better. My arm feels better. I like the group of guys we have coming in this year. We have a lot of talented freshmen that I think are going to step up and make our pitching staff really good. So.
Ben, Coach Holliday talked about your decision to come back for the 5th year. What does that mean for you to still be a part of this team?
It's awesome. Coming back to be able to play in O'Brien, that was something that really swayed my decision in the summer when I had the opportunity to leave, and just being close to my degree and just wanting to be around the guys for one more year is something that I really cherish, and I feel like I didn't want to leave college on a bad note after last year, and so I feel like I had something to prove to come back, and so I'm really looking forward to the start of the season.
What are you trying to prove this year?
I think we kind of have some unfinished business from last year. We were 6 outs away from Omaha, and just being the one on the mound that didn't get it done, I kind of want to be able to make up for that and go back to Omaha this year. And so I was on the team my freshman year, but I didn't get to participate. And so just watching how the group of guys, just how hard they worked and what it was like from the outside is something that I really want to get back there this year.
How comfortable do you feel going back into that closer role that you had last year?
I love it. I'm looking forward to it. If it's not me, we got a bunch of other guys in the bullpen who can take care of the job. And so, it's something I've been working for again, try to improve my game and just be better this year.
Coach Holliday talked a lot about the freshman pitchers. What have you, or any of you, what have you seen in them so far?
Well, they're freshmen, so they're young, but they all came in the fall, and they kind of made an immediate impact off the mound. You notice there's a lot of talent straight off the bat, and Rob's been working with a few guys, but, the arms are there, the pitches are there, the pitchability's there. So, it's really exciting to see a bunch of young guys that will have a chance to make a huge impact this season coming off the mound. So,
Brent, you bounce between rotation, bullpen. How do you approach that as you get ready for the season?
Just making sure I'm ready for anything, honestly. It's making sure my arm's in shape. It doesn't matter if I come out of the pen or if I'm starting. It's just whatever I can do from my part to help the team, it's what I'm going to do. So just being ready for anything, I guess.
Brett, you mentioned the talent out of that freshman group. What's your role in bringing out that talent and encouraging them along the way?
Well, I think it's every guy with the experience's purpose is to be there and help guys that are younger and coming in, kind of guide them to tell them what they need to do, what they need to work on. And part of that comes from Coach Walton. Part of that comes from guys like us with experience off the mound already. So I guess just making sure they're confident in themselves and they believe they can do it because they can. So they wouldn't be here if they couldn't, right? So I guess just making sure their mindset's in the right place and knowing that they have the ability to pitch here, and they will. So.
Does it help that you just went through all this as a freshman and were thrown into the fire in some pretty tough situations?
Yeah, it does. Just kind of because I was here the year before that, so it wasn't really that I was brand new, but I was new to the field. So kind of having guys like Parker and Ben that were there, just encouraging when I had a bad outing or something like that, and just saying you're here for a reason, just believe in yourself, and that's kind of what I did. And that's what we'll have to do for these younger guys as well. So.
Ben, what's it like seeing Rob work with these freshmen? I mean, you were there. Does it take you back to your first year when you just see them trying to develop into pitchers here?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I remember my freshman year, it's like he's constantly working with you, and you get to the point where it's almost like he stands back and like you know what you need to be doing. But it's definitely it reminisce a little bit because like it changed who I was as a pitcher and a person, because if he's not teaching us something on the mound, he's life lessons and just developing us into men. And so, yeah, without Rob, I mean, it wouldn't be the same.
You talked about how O'Bright was a factor in you staying. What do you expect that time to be like in the middle of the season when you all are moving everything over to O'Bright Stadium?
I mean, it's hard to put into words. I mean, we've all been looking forward to it. And I know when TCU comes that weekend, it's just going to be just surreal that we get to play in a new stadium in front of that crowd and have an opponent like TCU come in. And so I think that, I mean, hopefully we're off to a hot start, and being able to start Big 12 playoff there is just something I know we're all looking forward to.
Josh mentioned that Max was getting some work in behind the plate. Just for any of you, how have you seen him kind of adjust to that?
Well, Max is a guy where you can just put him anywhere and he'll do good at. And so I think, I mean, he spends enough time behind the plate, and if he's still working at his craft, I mean, he's got a great arm, great footwork, and I mean, he just loves to be out on the field. So if you put him first behind the plate, you put him in left, he's going to be 100% what he does. So I mean, it's exciting to have a new face back there that'll work for you, but I think we all love Max, and we know he'll do great regardless of where he's playing, so we're excited for him.
Parker, how you feel for the arm? I mean, last year you got back, but you had a great summer, and you're stronger, and all that good stuff?
Yep, finally healthy again, no problems. Arms getting back in shape, so feel good.
Do you think about it at all anymore, or is it just full speed ahead?
No, full speed. Don't think about it.
Parker, what's it like being one of the veterans now?
I mean, I've only actually played like half a year, so I know I've been here for this my 4th year, but I mean, half a year, I guess. Considered a veteran, I don't know. Feels weird.
Well, how important are the new catchers? I mean, working with those guys, I mean, do you rely on them to, you've had some guys that you're used to working with, and now all of them are new back there.
Yeah, I mean, getting Brock to transfer in is a real big thing. I mean, of course, all three of us are used to Bryce and Colin for the longest time, and so being able to learn with them and just how they are and kind of sync up as a group is real important. I mean, we got a couple really good catchers, so it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But I think we're all getting to the point where we've thrown enough bullpens that we're getting very comfortable with them, and I think we're confident with whoever's behind the plate.
For any of you seniors, just what's it like going into this last season and knowing you've got O'Bright Stadium coming up too?
Awesome feeling, we've been here for some of us, I guess you guys, you're two years, 3rd year, my 4th year. We've all got to play a considerable amount of time in Alley P, and it's just something we've heard a lot about since we got to school here, and now it's actually going to happen. It's just really exciting.
It's a little bittersweet for me. I'm excited for this season, but I also don't want it to start because it means this is pretty much it. So I'm just trying to take in all the memories I can and do my best.
I mean, I'm really excited too. I mean, it's going to be kind of hard to say goodbye to Alley P because I mean that was the first place I played here. It's an awesome stadium, a lot of history there, but I'm really excited to get in this new stadium to see what it does to the baseball community here, see it bring all new fans and just help us train.
What do you remember, Carson, about that first day you coming in as a transfer to Alley B?
I was really nervous. I was scared. I mean, going in there, seeing all these guys like him just hitting balls way out and BP, stuff like that, and just see the kind of skill level these guys had. I mean, I was nervous. I didn't know if I could kind of amount to what they had, but I mean, kind of just had to get my confidence up and just play along with them.
Do you anticipate a similar feeling when that stadium opens up in March?
Oh, no doubt. I mean, it's gonna be really exciting. I think we've all been waiting for this for a pretty long time. I mean, they announced it. I mean, he got the recruiting kind of thing where they say yeah, we're gonna have this new stadium for you. I mean, he got that when he was a freshman. I never got that pitch, but I mean, I'm really excited for it.
Hueston, what was that like for you coming in knowing that O'Bright Stadium was going to be something you get to be a part of?
It was awesome. Josh told me the first day I stepped on campus that they had a big plan for us, and the new stadium was going to be coming in, and for me it was exciting. It was you know, a heart rush. Like, your feelings just go through the roof, and I think that pitch that Carson was talking about just made it a world of difference. So,
Hueston, what was the most significant thing you took from Cape Cod?
the most significant thing I took from Cape Cod was freedom and responsibility, being able to take the time in our own time and put the work in and be around the guys, but also having that responsibility to where, you know, you have to do it on your own. You don't have anybody there telling you, hey, do this, do that. You follow your own plan. You work with the guys around you, and you stick to that.
How did Tom Holliday help you? Did you feel like you'd gotten away from the family, or no?
No, I love TH. He's a great guy. You know, he brought me in and kind of took me for what I was, and helped me as a player more than anything. It's kind of like a dad away from home. So I appreciate TH for that.
Hueston, Josh mentioned that you moved back over to short. A lot of people, make that transition, but just kind of what has that been like for you?
It's kind of normal. I played shortstop in high school. I worked there whenever I first stepped on campus, and then slid over to second, and I was comfortable there. But I feel like I've been a shortstop my whole life, and so I'm excited to see where that takes it.
Is it night and day from where you were sitting here a year ago to the guy sitting here now?
Oh, most definitely. It's incredible to see the growth and the development that's happened over the past year. So I think that's pretty cool.
What do you see in the freshmen now, knowing you were standing in their shoes just a year ago?
I see the same thing, honestly. Guys that come in, they're timid their first few practices, and then they shine. Each one of them has an opportunity, just like I did, to break through and earn a spot. And like I said, I see myself in a lot of them. Brayley Hollins is one that I see a lot of myself in. He works hard, he gets after it, but that whole freshman class is nothing but hard workers, so I like to see that.
Alix, you came in and you were kind of down off the radar, and now you're one of the dudes coming back. That's a whole different role for you.
Yeah, it's a different feeling. I definitely feel like I have to come in here and still earn my spot, but it's nice being one of the guys, I guess, that I wasn't as nervous coming into this, because like last year I didn't know what could happen. Like, I could have played, I could have not played the whole entire season. So it's nice, I guess, having a little bit of reassurance, knowing that I can come into this season and be comfortable right away.
At what point in last season did you realize that you really, were fitting into the lineup and starting to make a difference for this team?
It was probably right around the start of Big 12 play. That's kind of when I started finding my role in the team, and I just kind of ran with it. I didn't want to be pulled out of the lineup after that, because I got so used to playing. So it was a good time.
For any of you, what do you think it'll be like working with Robin Ventura, Matt Holliday through a college baseball season?
Already it's been really fun. That sticks out the most. They've both been at the highest level, done great at the highest level. They know so much, so I think they have so much to share. They have so much to help with, which is, it's obvious already, but I think as the season goes on, I think it'll be cool to see how they help us make small adjustments here and there as throughout the season that we can carry with us, versus right now where they can really break us down and help us with our swings. But it's gonna be really fun to see.
From a short period of time, what have you already gained knowledge-wise from them?
Just the little things. I think that's what sticks out the most. Neither of them have come in. I know for me personally, they've never tried to make drastic changes with anything. I think anyone that gets here already has a good foundation. So I think they just try to make little tweaks here and there, give you a good piece of advice that, it may be small, but it can make a huge difference.
What kind of tweaks?
Personally, or just for me, it's just been, simplify, make everything as simple as possible. We don't need as many moving parts to get the results we want, just kind of simple bat to ball. If you do that more consistently, you're going to get better results.
How fun is it having Robin in that student assistant role where he's taking the classes and everything too?
I think it's kind of funny. I don't know. I gave him a hard time the other day about coming up and studying with us up here, and he wasn't all about it. But I don't know. It's been pretty fun.
Does anybody make a joke that he's probably the oldest student assistant in college sports?
I'm sure it's happened here and there. We just kind of, I mean, I don't know. It just like, obviously everyone that's on our staff now has been a part of the program before, so I think it was very easy for him to come back in and just pick it up immediately with everyone. And I mean, he connects. I mean, he's managed in the big leagues. He's played in the big leagues. He knows how to connect with guys. So it's been real easy transition for all of us. There's been no awkward moments or kind of scared to go talk to him. It's been real easy and been fun so far.
Does anybody have any classes with him?
I have a class with him. I have an online class with him. I was kind of messing with him, asking me if he's like done the homework yet or anything like that. So
he's going to study hall with you guys?
No,
I haven't seen him up there. Yeah.
Tried to get him to.
Yeah.
He didn't seem like he was interested and couldn't hang out with us up there. So.
What's the class?
Microbrewing. Yeah. Yeah.
What's his passion there, or your passion there?
It's just an elective for me. I think it'd be pretty interesting. But I mean, he seems like he's really into it.
Can you do that online?
Yeah, it's just like discussion posts and stuff like that, and like watching videos. But I mean, we get to like go on tours to like Iron Monk and stuff like that, and just go check it out. So it's interesting.
He's talked about the discussion posts of y'all like replying to each other's.
Oh yeah. I always mess with him like, hey man, I'm a huge fan, like just stuff like that.
How do they kind of break the news to you guys that Matt's coming on staff, that Robin's coming on staff? Did they get you guys together, or did you guys find out just like us?
I think you guys found out before.
Yeah, honestly.
So yeah, like we knew about Matt just because he had been hanging around like the whole season before, but not as a coach. But Robin, I think all of you guys knew before we did, and then it was kind of like the first day of practice, like he was there, and they're like, hey, he's coaching, he's on the staff this year with us. So at least that's how I found out.
Carson, you guys have some big holes to fill. I mean, center fielder and second base, maybe third catcher. I mean, how do the other guys, are they melding in, and you feel like you're going to be able to fill those holes?
Oh yeah, I think we got the guys to do that. I mean, KP, he's an unbelievable player. He's gonna help us out a lot. And then we got Cade Trinkle coming in, who's really good, and Noah, who had a really good fall. And I mean, Jake Thompson, also a really good player. I think we're gonna fill these spots just fine. I think we'll be good.
How excited for the outfielders specifically? Excited, curious are you to get into the new ballpark and see how it plays? How do balls carry in the wind? How does it come off the wall? Does the ball carry? I mean, is it curiosity to find out how's this thing going to play, or do you even think about
No,
that?
I'm really excited to go check it out. I mean, I know the same's like facing the same way that Alley P is. So I mean, I think the wind and the sun and all that stuff like that's going to be pretty much the same. But I mean, the walls, stuff like that. I know the dimensions are a little bit different too, so it's gonna be an adjustment for sure. But I'm excited.
The team was fourth in the nation in home runs last season. How do you feel like the power hitting will be this season?
I mean, obviously we lost Boone, our leading home run hitter, lost Tank. So I mean, I think our offensive approach to the game as a whole team is going to be a little bit different this year because we don't necessarily have 1 through 9 guys that can leave the yard at any time. But I mean, I still think we're gonna compete. We're gonna have some good power, but we're also gonna play some small ball, steal bags, bunt, and do stuff like that.
It's relied on you guys to hit it out now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Hueston, you played with or against Cade Polkovich. Cape Cod, what's it like seeing him here now and what he's kind of come along in the fall?
Oh, I knew as soon as I stepped in the Cape Cod League and I saw KP for the first time. He's explosive. He's a great kid. He's funny. Me and him joke around all the time. But seeing him actually step on campus was awesome for me, knowing that, I had this talent coming in to play, with this team. And, I mean, you can ask them. I think he's melted in pretty good. He's a great guy to be around. He works hard. He's very focused, and he's a great player.
How was it, you two, like spending spending the summer together before any of the rest of the team got to meet him?
It was awesome, especially me, Cade, and Parker. I think we got to see KP before anybody else, besides Tom Holliday, of course. But it was awesome. KP, outstanding player. Nothing but respect for him.
Cade, you've had some issues making this much contact, and how many people have tried to help you out? How much advice have you gotten over the last couple of years, and how have you got it figured out now?
I don't think we ever figured out with this sport, but no, I've had a lot of people help here and there. I think it's
Was there too many at times? It seemed like
maybe at times there were. I wouldn't say too many people, maybe too many things going on, trying to do too many things, and versus just getting in the box and saying, like, all right, just get ready to hit. It was like, oh man, I got to do this or do that. But that's what's been great about having Matt and Robin come in. I have simplified it. I simplified it like towards the end of the fall, and was able to go out against Vanderbilt and kind of end my fall on a high note, and was something to carry into this season. And I like where I'm at right now, and I think it'll be fun.
Alix, how much more confident do you feel now? And how can we build off the way you ended last season at the plate, especially?
I guess I'm definitely more confident now than I was at the start of last year, but like you said, now it's just trying to build off of that confidence to become like one of the best hitters that I can become. So I don't know. I'm excited for the season to start. I'm tired of just waiting around, I guess. But I don't know. I'm pretty confident going into the season.